Slim are the characters. They're on the run. They have to make a decision about their hair. Because every law enforcement agency on the planet is looking for them because they killed a cop. They don't want to cut their hair. They come to her uncle's house, to Queen's uncle's house, and they decide if we do not cut our hair, they're going to kill us or throw us in jail for the rest of our lives. So what do Queen and Slim decide to do?
Cut their hair.
That's right. They decide to cut it off and keep it moving. They said, let's cut it. Queen cuts her hair, long, beautiful hair. She does a shortcut similar to Pastor Rain's. And she looks more beautiful with that short hair. And it wasn't just the hair, it was symbolic. In cutting his and her hair, both of them, they cut off their past. Something were carried with them that was holding them down. In my last sermon about Samson, we talked about how he lost his power when his hair got cut. And Queen and Slim, they gained their freedom when their hair got cut. They were still vigilantes. They're still running from the law, but they were able to live. They moved forward into something that they'd never experienced before, which helped them fall in love with each other. Now, when we're watching this all unfold on the screen, it's super dramatic because they're running from the cops. There is a love scene. I'm in the theater. Again, I had just come from this beautiful night at Rain's house. I've got church folk with me. I've got Rain. I got some people, church folk from out of town, some good friends that came to visit us. And then I've got number one riding shotgun. He's usually always with me. He's not here today, but Adrian, number one, y'all seen him. He works or serves our church. He's sitting right next to me. And on my left, I've got a white lady that's sitting next to me. And for some reason, every time something happened to the black couple in the movie, the lady would look over at me. And I'm sitting, we're reclining. This is Sunset Station. We're reclining. And I see her look. You know, you can feel somebody looking. And I'm like, well, hello, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Anytime anything happened to them, to the black couple, she would just, and I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking, does she want, what does she want from me? I'm like, ma'am, I have no idea why you keep looking at me. This is a movie. Like, I'm not in the movie. I can't justify anything that's happening right now. They're on the run. Number one's on my right, got the white lady on my left. And there is a love scene in the movie. Now, the love scene was bad. And I don't mean the bad that I've been using in my other sermons. This was just bad. Not good, just bad and graphic and long. It was a long, graphic love scene where nothing was held down. It was real extreme in a car on the side of the road. And I'm sitting there. And the lady to my left, the white lady, does not look over at me this time. For whatever reason, she's focused. She's enjoying the show. She's focused on this love scene. She would not look away. I'm waiting for her to look because it's already awkward. And I'm not feeling any awkwardness at all. At least not for myself. I'm feeling awkwardness for the young man sitting to my right. You've got a 17-year-old number one here, and he's sitting next to his pastor. And 4 seats over is his other pastor, who happens to be his mom. Right? So you got his mama sitting 4 seats over watching this big screen awkward love scene that lasted forever. You got your pastor and mentor sitting next to you, and you got the white lady who won't look away from the screen. This young man might be traumatized. That might be why he's not here today. Can you keep him in prayer? Please, congregation, pray for him, because I was like, oh my God. So I'm laughing out hysterically because of him. I'm laughing because of him because he's just sitting there like this is the worst possible situation. But that's neither here nor there. It was just completely awkward. But they kept on going. What's awesome about the movie is they kept on going. They could have stopped and turned themselves in, which probably would have been the right thing to do. They could have gave up, or they could have held on to the reasons why they didn't like each other in the beginning when they were dating. But for whatever reason, when they cut that hair, they moved over into something new. They cut it off, they kept it moving, and they fell in love, you guys. And it was a beautiful story, well acted. If it doesn't win something, it'll be a travesty. Go out there and see it. Like I said, the ones who, it's not about how the movie ends, it's how they live in the movie, which is awesome. Now you say, okay, now they cut it off, they kept it moving. What does that got to do with the Bible or anything Nourish and Vine related? Well, I was reading a story in the Bible called Exodus. And in the story has a man named Moses. And for those that don't know about Moses, Moses was not raised as a Hebrew. He was a Hebrew male. The Hebrew firstborn at that time were getting killed. The Egyptian Pharaoh said, we got to toss them all in the lake, in the river. Because the men, there's too many of them, and they're going to have more men, and they're going to cause trouble for us because there's just too many. So all the firstborns were gone. They're giving all the men. Moses was a firstborn male. But they pushed in a basket down the river. He was received by Pharaoh, Pharaoh's wife, and raised as an Egyptian, even though he was Hebrew. Keep that in mind. Moses was not circumcised. He was raised as an Egyptian.